What if affection does not ask to be returned? At the Starlight Awards, a quiet dynamic between Zhao Lucy and Wang Anyu invited this question. They shared the same space, yet expressed connection in very different ways. Wang Anyu's attention remained gentle and steady, while Jao Lucy appeared more reserved, choosing calm over expression. This was not a moment defined by absence, but by restraint. There was no clear declaration, no dramatic exchange, only subtle signals shaped by awareness and choice. As the evening unfolded, this contrast became the foundation of a story not about expectation, but about understanding. A story that asks whether affection must always be answered, or whether sometimes it simply exists on its own. As the evening progressed, Wang Anyu's actions revealed a quiet form of affection defined by restraint. He did not attempt to close the distance or draw attention to himself. Instead, his presence remained steady, almost unobtrusive. His gaze returned to Jao Lucy naturally, without urgency or insistence, as if guided more by habit than intention. What stood out was what he did not do. There was no pressure for interaction, no visible disappointment when attention was not returned. By allowing space to remain, Wang Anyu showed an understanding that care does not always require acknowledgement. His affection existed independently, without seeking validation. For many viewers, this approach felt mature and grounded. In a public environment where reactions are often exaggerated, his calmness suggested emotional awareness. It reflected a form of connection rooted in respect, one that prioritizes presence over outcome. As the night unfolded, this quiet consistency became a defining element of the dynamic, shaping how audiences interpreted everything that followed. In contrast, Jao Lucy's response unfolded with quiet intention. Throughout the event, she appeared composed and inwardly focused, engaging with her surroundings selectively. Her expressions were controlled, her movements measured, suggesting a deliberate choice rather than emotional withdrawal. She did not mirror Wang Anyu's attention, yet this absence of visible reciprocation did not indicate indifference. Instead, it reflected a different way of managing presence, one shaped by personal boundaries and heightened self-awareness. At several moments, Jao Lucy remained forward-facing, grounded and steady, maintaining her own emotional rhythm. For audiences, this manner of response felt nuanced. Not all connections are expressed through symmetry, and restraint can be as intentional as openness. By choosing calm over display, Jao Lucy allowed the interaction to exist without defining it. Her quiet response added depth to the moment, reinforcing the idea that emotional engagement does not always need to be outwardly visible to be genuine. At this stage, the dynamic between Wang Anyu and Jao Lucy revealed its core meaning. Affection, as shown by Wang Anyu, did not seek balance or confirmation. It existed on its own terms, offered quietly and without expectation. Jao Lucy's restraint, meanwhile, did not negate that affection. It simply followed a different emotional path. Rather than creating tension, this contrast highlighted a mature reality. Connection does not always require symmetry. Care can be present without response, and distance does not necessarily signal rejection. In this moment, affection and restraint were not opposing forces, but parallel choices shaped by individual awareness. For audiences, this felt honest. Many recognized the truth it reflected, that people often meet emotionally while standing in different places. When affection does not require reciprocation, it becomes less about outcome and more about intention. And it was this quiet understanding, free of demand, that gave the moment its depth and lasting resonance. Within the quiet space shaped by restraint, a brief exchange gently shifted the tone of the evening. Wang Anyu was seen calling Jao Lucy's name, a small gesture that momentarily interrupted the distance between them. The interaction was understated, unfolding naturally amid the surrounding noise, without drawing attention to itself. Jao Lucy responded calmly and without hesitation. There was no dramatic change in expression, yet the acknowledgement carried meaning. It did not resolve the dynamic, nor did it redefine it, but it confirmed mutual awareness. For many viewers, this moment felt complete in its simplicity. It did not aim to answer every question or offer clarity. Instead, it suggested that connection did not need elaboration. Sometimes, a single exchange is enough, not to change the story, but to affirm that the story is still there, quietly continuing. For modern audiences, this dynamic resonates because it mirrors how emotional connections are often experienced today. Many viewers recognize the balance between presence and distance, the understanding that care does not always result in visible response. In an era defined by constant sharing and public validation, restraint can feel more authentic than expression. What stood out was the absence of performance. There was no clear storyline imposed, no moment engineered for reaction. Instead, the interaction allowed ambiguity to remain, reflecting real emotional situations where feelings exist without labels or conclusions. This honesty appealed especially to mature audiences who understand that connection evolves over time. Affection may become quieter, responses more measured, and intentions less visible, yet no less sincere. By choosing subtlety over spectacle, the moment acknowledged emotional complexity without simplifying it. In doing so, it transformed a brief exchange into something deeply relatable, grounded in lived experience rather than idealized narrative. In this context, silence carried meaning of its own. Zhao Lucy's quiet presence was not an absence of feeling, but a conscious choice. Rather than responding outwardly, she appeared to prioritize composure and personal boundaries within a highly visible setting. For many viewers, this decision felt familiar. Silence can serve as a form of self-protection, a way to remain present without overexposure. It allows emotion to exist without requiring explanation or validation. Seen this way, silence did not cancel affection, it reframed it. By choosing restraint, Jao Lucy defined the terms of her own emotional expression. This understanding helped audiences interpret the interaction not as incomplete, but as intentional. Sometimes silence is not a lack of response, but a response in itself. As the night came to an end, the meaning behind this quiet dynamic became clear. Wang Anyu's affection did not ask to be returned, and Zhao Lucy's restraint did not diminish its sincerity. Together, they reflected a form of connection shaped by respect, awareness, and emotional maturity. This moment offered no resolution and made no promises, yet that was precisely its strength. It showed that affection does not always seek acknowledgement, and care does not need validation to remain real. In a world that often demands clarity and closure, this understated exchange reminded audiences that some feelings are strongest when they are allowed to exist without expectation.